Hi, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. We have returning friend, good man, and good brother, Mr. Gregory Mannarino, who we haven't had him in a while, but we've been timing this perfect, and he's been busy. So we're honored to have him back. And we are looking forward to a very meaty, substantive discussion with all things financial in the world today and what is coming down the pike. And he always has good insights to share. So we'll look forward to getting those. If you're new to the podcast, please do like, subscribe, and share. Helps the channel grow and others to gain the knowledge you're currently being afforded. If those of you who are not familiar, the longtime followers know him, but those of you who are new, Greg has been in the financial industry for 2+ decades, has a wealth of knowledge, particularly in all things financial, precious metal space, and how it expounds out into he was the first one to call the 10 and 30 Treasury year yield bonds sort of a Paul Revere warning. And so we honor him for that and many other things. I'm delighted, and as always, to have him back on the podcast. Mr. Gregory Mannarino, how are you today, good sir?
I'm okay, bro. Yeah, I'm doing okay. And I hope you are too. You look great. I'm really happy to be here with you and your people.
Thanks, man. Likewise, likewise. We have a mutual admiration society here, and I think we have some mutual followers as well, which is always good. So, Greg, let's start on that note. So, we've talked numerous times about that in the past, the 10 and 30-year Treasury yield bonds, which are essentially garbage at this point, with the Fed almost exclusively buying them to use for printing of the notes, the Federal Reserve, which is not federal at all, as you know, the rest of the world is dumping them over the side of the river like the Boston Tea Party. Various data sets suggest that there will be a 10% drop either this year or next year, and that the remaining 90% might be dissolved by 2030. Do you agree with this? And if so, what does that mean for the population at large?
There's an old adage that's been going around like forever with regard to Wall Street, the financial system, the bond market is always right. When you have a situation that we have now, and with this merger between the Treasury and the Fed, I think is such a danger to the people. The managing the entire yield curve had to be put in place. Okay, I've been trying to warn people about this and explain how dangerous this is. By the Fed now and the Treasury literally cornering the debt market. This had to be set up for the number one reason is this to corner the debt market. Okay. To allow the Fed Treasury complex to be able to pull the main driver of these markets in any direction they feel they want to as we are transitioned into this new tokenized system, which I hope we get a chance to talk about. Looks like a test bed is going to be in Gaza. Trump's board of peace is now talking about using, as you know, some type of stable coin token backed by the dollar to help rebuild Gaza. Okay, I see this. The first thing that hit me in the head with this was it's a test bed. But anyway, let's go back to the debt. The debt market it's a monster. It's a monster on a magnificent scale. We've never seen anything like it. The mechanism here of obviously, look, guys, everybody, it's the mechanism of currency devaluation, artificially suppress rates on a cosmic level, and of course, vast debt expansion. It's these same three things, elements here, dynamics, whatever you want to call it, that are destroying the United States economy, its people, its industry, running us into the ground that are propelling the market higher. So the mechanism, as long as it stays in place, and I don't think they're done. Again, the goal here is to crush the American people and force them into submission, so they will accept anything that is thrown at them. So keep that debt market managed, keep the wealth transfer effect going. We've never seen this in the history of the world, where we're witnessing the greatest wealth transfer effect ever. Something you and I have warned would happen from around 1,000 years ago, but now we're in full effect. And who's paying for it? It's America. It's the American citizens. This is not America first. It's America last. It's the American citizens last. Unfortunately, in favor of a new paradigm, which again I've been telling people was going to come about for 1,000 years. So people better start getting with the program, paying attention, not just from a financial standpoint, because that's the easy part, man. We got to stop with this whole left versus right, fake paradigm, nonsense, deception mechanism where we can't get a shred of truth at all anymore. Either people align with the truth or it lies. And I don't believe in the history of my over 60 years of life I've ever seen anything like what we've seen here. People are being kept in a state of disarray, confusion, no truth, no anything anymore. So it's time to demand that. What's the issue is surrender. Again, I've been telling people for 1,000 years, surrender to the system and you lose, push back and you will win. I still say that we have an opportunity to turn this around. But it's not about taxing the American people via a tariff or a levy or whatever President Trump wants to talk about, especially lately with regard to this whole tariff disaster, which everyone knew. Anyone with this one functioning brain cell saw this coming from a million miles away. I tried to warn people about this. Let's tax the American people. This is what's happening. People have been deceived. Okay, other nations are going to be writing checks. No, they never do. It's paid at the border, and those are put into the supply chain of goods. And again, what happens is it's passed on to the American people. We were told this wasn't going to happen. It is. Okay. So what they're doing here again is choosing to tax the American people who are paying for everything right now and calling it winning. It doesn't win because the deception was right off the day one. Okay, we're going to be so rich. Governments are writing checks. You can't make it up. Only in a grand deception environment run by devils would anyone buy it. Anyone aligned with the spirit and is aligned with what we're seeing here is definitely not aligned with the same God that I worship.
Yeah. Thank you, Greg, for that as always. And you touched on something important, the Clarity Act, which we're going to dive into in a moment. And I mean, he is bringing us into a new system, which, if you're positioned the way we are in terms of, metals, foreign currencies, like our teams are, yes, but for the public at large, he's not telling the people that it's digital, and that is I think the overarching concern, right? What comes alongside that, right? So
what do we gain? What do we gain from financial riches? You know what we gain from it? Zero. Okay, I've been a proponent of metals for 1,000 years. I've been telling people how to take advantage of the system. If we can't have a system that benefits all, freedom and liberty, we lose. I don't care if you got more gold than Fort Knox doesn't have. Okay, it's amazing, but we have to start thinking way bigger than that. The people need to come together. The people need to start standing up for themselves and say enough. And again, you want to talk about where this is going? Nobody knows it better than you and the people that follow your work. But the scope of this is, again, way beyond the financial markets. Absolutely, we will. And we've been saying this, you and me, and people like you and me forever now. You want to protect your wealth in an environment where the currency is being deliberately debased every single day, where we have artificially suppressed rates. No American citizen now wants to hold a dollar. Forget about other nations. Nobody in their right mind would want to be holding debt in this environment. We're bankrupt. We're done. And what's the solution here? Well, let's lower rates even more so we could finance even more debt somehow, roll it over here, and that's going to make us great again. You can't make it up. We have to fix the problem. The deception campaign is simple. What are they doing, especially as of late with this whole tariff, non-tariff, now it's going to be a levy and whatever else it's going to be. It's an equivalent. Look over here, guys. This is the problem. The problem is the dollar. The problem is the debt. The problem is the deficit. That's how we fix the issue here. Not with taxing the American people, its economy, its small businesses, and its industry. When? I have to ask you, because you're way smarter than me, bro. When are people going to wake up? Is it today, or are they still going to see this is what's happening? People are locked into a paradigm. They deny, deflect, and attack. It's the MO of not just this administration, but every single person, it seems, who believes that there's some kind of a 5D chess mechanism going on here. It goes way beyond. The financial markets are a joke. Anybody can profit here. Anyone. You don't even have to have a functioning brain cell. You don't have to listen to Greg Mannarino or you or anybody else. It's too simple. But the American people have no idea what's happening to them and or why. Henceforth, we're moving on to this other system that I think you and I and others have been warning about what happened. And we are on the threshold of it right now. So yeah, this is great for people who have been involved in precious metals, gold, silver. We haven't, dude, no one knows this better than you again. Where we're going. The price action of gold and silver, we haven't even begun to see it move, not even slight. Let me explain this another way. Okay. we are going to see what I'm calling a collateral inversion. Again, I've talked about it in a different way. I've said cash moves through the markets, which we don't have anymore. There's no real price discovery anymore. It's all, again, it's debt fueled, it's currency debasement fueled, it's vast debt expansion fueled. So we don't even have, and everything, the stock market itself is nothing but a derivative as to what's happening in the debt market. Everything prices off a bit, okay? The price action of gold and silver via the Crimex and every other mechanism you want to think about it's massively artificially suppressed. I don't have to sit here and tell you or anybody else that. We all know it. So the collateral inversion basically is, okay, people already don't want to hold the dollar. They don't want to hold debt anymore. They're going to fall back into real wealth. Okay, that is, again, and then it's certainly not some kind of genius act stablecoin token company store model backed one-to-one with the dollar, which is a dying asset, which is being thrust upon the American people. Can't make it up, but that's what's happening here. So the collateral inversion is very simple. If we realize, and anyone with even the most basic knowledge of the markets and how cash moves through it realizes that cash does, in fact, move through the markets in predictable patterns. There's no randomness here. When you have a mechanism of artificially suppressed rates, currency devaluation, vast debt expansion, what happens? The stock market trades on higher multiples. So you get this multiple expansion cycle. The stock market will go higher. And as the faster they can wipe out the middle class population of this nation and enrich the 1% and 2% via that mechanism, well, the economy is going to be blasted apart, of course, and the stock market can go higher. You have to ask yourself, who are these creatures actually working for? The American people? No, of course they're not. The answer is very obvious. We're not winning anything. Hand them a crumb, secure the border. Everything else, just dismantle it before their face. Let them get thrown into the street. Their children's bellies growling with hunger. Don't matter. Because what are they doing, people? They're now protecting an ideology. They're protecting what I call the high priest of Babylon here. And everything has to be right because they have to protect them. It's unbelievable, bro. Once people realize that neither the left side or the right side is the right side, and we align with the source, as you clearly are, my brother, okay, that's when we all benefit. Until that time, America will die. And it's dying now.
Yeah, you've mentioned that before. Thanks, Greg. And you bring up a really important point that I think is underrated and we can't just gloss over is it's about the people, like we've always said. And what comes to mind for me is Mark 8:36, right? What does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? So at the end of the day, it isn't about the money. It's about the value of things is we the people, right? Coming together. You and I are both trying to get more people a seat at the proverbial table. You asked another question: when will they wake up? And that's an individual question that only people can answer. Well, the goal here is to get it faster, because we don't have the time we think we have, right? We need to move. We need more. We need faster, and there's an urgency here, right? Of being about being an action, being a purpose, which you certainly are. And
well, it's you, dude. Look, man. You give yourself more credit. You've been out here. Yeah, I've been out here a long time. And you too. And a lot of people like us who have been given, I guess, a gift or whatever you want to call it, or a purpose, not a gift, a purpose. Okay. And I believe that there's a calling for some people who are thrust out there, maybe somewhere in the public eye. And people are given a choice either to listen to what we have to say and make up their own mind. Because I don't want to change anyone's mind. Neither do you. All I want people to do is follow. Fact of the matter is, I really believe. Oh, you're locked up.
Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't notice you kind of froze up. Sorry. I don't even know where I was. But look, I was just saying, you got to give yourself credit, bro. You've been out here a long time trying to get people to wake up. And for myself too, look, man, I think it's not my job or yours or anyone to convince people of anything. And I want people to, look inside themselves and into their spirit, into their heart, and say, is this what I believe is we're on the right path, where we're going here? If the answer is no, then we need to do something about it. We need to take the system back. It's very, very simple, and it all comes down to how do we take the system back? We have to basically go counter to everything that's being thrust at us right now. We need a weaker dollar. We need low rates. Who needs it? Who needs a weaker dollar right now? Who needs lower rates right now? But people are going to say, "Oh, well, lower rates is a great thing." It's a nice punchline. It's a nice slogan, I suppose. But if people would just take a nanosecond and look up when were the most prosperous times in America or any nation for that matter, was when rates were higher, when the currency had more purchasing power. When the currency has more purchasing power, people consume. People go out, they spend, they consume. The factories wake up. Our factory's dying. Our entire industry is dying here. Nothing's going. Our trade deficit is detonating. We were told that wasn't going to happen. Another deception. There's no way that President Trump, and I'm not beating the man up here, I'm just telling you the truth because I was no fan of Biden at all. You know that I shredded this man at every chance I had because I thought he was probably potentially the worst president in the history of our country at that point until this guy. And it's an astonishing thing how you can go from absolutely despicable to despicable squared. And that's what's happening here to our nation. And it's bigger than us. It's bigger than left, right. It's bigger than money or finance or gold or silver. And again, yeah, sure. From a financial standpoint, anyone can make money in this market, man. Just keep your head above water. But the rest of the people have no idea because they can't discern the truth from lies anymore by the propaganda. Thank God for channels like yours. People sit here and they listen to you. Look, man, don't listen to Greg Mannarino. Listen to Jon Dowling. He knows where it's at. It's pretty straightforward. And again, I want to commend you for being out here for all these years and at least saying, look, guys, this is what I feel is happening. You make your own decision. And I think that is profound, bro. And I think it's again, you are the one who have been chosen to gather people together and at least try to wake them up. So again, I just want to say thank you for that too.
Likewise. Thank you, brother. Well, it's very kind of you to say thank you, but I just give all the glory to God. And I have a wonderful team that supports me because there's nobody does this alone. And I'm just honored to walk with them. And it's friends like you who, illustrate the point further that make this possible. So, we may be coming at it from a different vantage point, but the goal for us is the same, is to try to help the people to win as much as possible, limit that collateral damage gap.
Well, what vantage point do you look at it from? Let's see what we're talking about here, because I think we're both on the same team, which is the side of truth. Either you serve truth, God, or you serve lies, Satan. There's no middle ground.
That's true. No, we're on that same team. I'm just saying that we're different people, so we have the same purpose. I might just phrase it differently and deliver it differently than you, but at the end of the day, it's like we're trying to get to the same destination. We just take a different avenue or road.
Well, we all take a different pathway, and the beauty of that is, I guess, we relate to people in a different way, which is right. Fine. It's complementary. I totally get that. Absolutely, bro. Look, man, we're gonna keep pushing it until the bitter end. But I think unfortunately, things are accelerating. It's hard to deny that they're not. The way things are being, all the dynamics in play right now, we've talked about them before. Nothing has changed. They're all clicking together. This is not anything spontaneous. Everything that is happening right now to us is not by a policy error, mistake, or some a comedy freak show. It's all been locked in, and unfortunately, we the people are living in a side effect of it. Of all of it. And the crazy thing is we are the vast majority. And I've been telling people for the longest time, it's not the majority. It's the minority who seems to hold the power, but we can take it back. And when people say I've had enough, when they realize their struggles here are the root cause of it, at least from the financial system standpoint, is the fact that the dollar is being systematically erased here. And when you hear a president say we need a weaker dollar, realize that it's a blatant, absolute lie. When you hear that we need lower rates, it's a blatant, absolute lie. It's all to inflate the debt further, expand the debt, and destroy our nation from within. This is an internal war against America, against American citizens on an epic scale. Divide the people first, conquer them, and you can convince them of anything. This is an ancient philosophy that we're seeing. There is a plague upon the earth right now my brother here, and we've all know about it. You see this book here? I know you're very familiar with this book, as am I. It's all here. It's all been foretold in that book right there, for which I read every day of my life. And with that, people now need to wake up and say, either I accept the truth or I deny it. There you go, brother. See, we're in the same boat. And I love that. This is why we have an alignment. Okay. People are being pushed off of that alignment. If people are willing to accept a single lie, for example, governments are going to be writing checks. We need a weaker dollar. We need lower rates. They're going to be willing to accept all of the lies. And I call that devilism.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. A couple of things not to skirt past, because you made some really great points or sub points within there. You had said a long time ago, Greg, that I don't know how many months ago when I had you on that, and you said in the past that 7 seconds, for him to just switch us to the gold standard. And that's really where we need to go. And that's where I'm still praying we can go. And you're right, the people can take it back. And to your ultimate question, when are people going to get it? I think when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain to change, that's when they'll change. And that's,
you know what the problem is, bro? It's bigger than that. If we were to look back, and I brought this up I am a major student of history. I love to read. I've been reading about history. During the last days of National Socialism, let's say the Third Reich, okay, is what we're talking about here. People were willing to commit suicide, and they did, and kill their own children because of National Socialism was going away. Their faith was displaced. People will take this to the very, very end. They will look, what's happened here is a spiritual capture. It's really the only way I can think about it as I ponder this every single day of my life here. People have lost a sense of who they are. They don't even realize where the kingdom of God is anymore. It resides within each and every one of us here. So once that is stolen from them, once their identity has been captured, and you know as well as I, it's in the book, can't serve two masters, and you decide to serve one, what will happen to the other? You can only serve one master. Okay, we all know that. It's pretty straightforward. You serve that one master, life turns out pretty good for you. You don't, your life will turn upside down, inside out, to the point of where you may even kill yourself. We've seen this before. There are some people that no matter what we show them, even if it's blatant truth in their face that is undeniable, they will deny it. And these is what I call the spiritually disenfranchised, the spiritually captured here, who, again, you fall for one lie, you fall for them all. It's a grand deception. That's really what we're seeing here in the United States. This is a spiritual war. It's not a financial war. And we're losing. America, I believe right now, the reason why we're in the boat, we're into God's judgment, because the man running the show is completely disconnected from truth. Wait till the State of the Union tonight. Lies, deceptions, distractions, propaganda, counterfeit system, all the things the book tells us we need to look out for. And those people that call themselves aligned, Christians, Catholic, or other, who are still feel some kind of an affinity for this guy, they really got to look deep within themselves and say, really? Interesting. I've been warned. Am I heeding it? Most of them aren't. It's unfortunate. They've been deceived and they can't see it. And that is disturbing to me, because once you realize you can't serve two masters, you get out of the left-right paradigm and you serve the one source, everything becomes clear. Until that point, these people that we're talking about here, they'll never come back. They've already sold them souls, and their soul, it's gone. They don't know who they are. They're spiritually disenfranchised. Again, one lie, accept it, you're going to accept them all. Either we hold our leaders to account and we learn to govern ourselves, or we lose. And we have an opportunity, and we are at the end game here to turn it around. And I really feel a sense of urgency that if we don't act soon, again, there's no way, bro, we're going back to a commodity-backed system, because this would empower the people. What we are going towards, and we're going to talk about the Clarity Act soon, I'm pretty sure, is a stablecoin token company store model signed into law by President Trump in July, called the Genius Act. It was the greatest act of genius, I have to say, in the history of the world, henceforth why the term. He sold this to his own people as no central bank digital currency executive order. And I said that day, I am on public record saying there will be a workaround. I said, and I got laughed at and ridiculed. Of course, the greatest workaround of active genius in the history of the world was pulled off again via the Genius Act, the stablecoin token model, basically one-to-one. You know how it worked. I don't have to tell you how it works here. But this is, again, a situation what is of magnitude worse than a central bank digital currency, which I think we're all against here, obviously here. But at least with a central bank digital currency, there would theoretically be some oversight. Privatize the system, as Trump did with the Genius Act, we lose. We lose. So that's where we're going, to tokenization. And the test bed is going to be Gaza. This just came out today, dude. I sent it to you. I mean, it's right here. It's unbelievable here. Trump's Board of Peace exploring the creation of U.S. dollar-pegged stablecoin for the Gaza Strip. Reports state that this digital asset really is intended as a digital payments layer to revive Gaza's economy while currently facing a severe shortage of Israeli shekels. I said, this is a prototype. They're using it there on a wiped out land to see how they can work it into the system. We are not going back to a commodity-backed system, but that does not mean, bro, as we all know, everybody here, that we need to be our own central banks, period. And again, as I've been, day one, man, when I came out here around over a decade ago, I started talking about this, which is what we got to do. We have to, again, circumvent the system that's destroying us now. U.S. debt today just hit a new record high at the fastest pace ever. U.S. public debt, personal debt, household debt exploding. Meanwhile, credit card debt, loans, defaults, people being kicked out of their houses, delinquencies across the board are skyrocketing. Then we're told the consumer is more confident. I mean, you can't make it up. The situation is pure devilism across the board. And the mainstream media is just as complicit in pushing the lies and the propaganda and the counterfeit system that we all know is here, but people are still going to try to deny. Anyway, I'm going to be quiet.
No, I'm just always enjoy listening to your insights, and we are going to talk about the Clarity Act. And you started a little bit with the USD peg stablecoin with the Gaza Strip. So let's pick up on that, Greg, and expand on it a little bit. So we've been waiting for the dog and pony show to conclude regarding the Clarity Act to be passed. They said April. Now they're saying by March 1st, which would be Sunday. So the timing of this show is very timely and prophetic, you could say. Clearly, it has been in the favor to the banks at this point. Were the powers that be delaying this act to be passed in order to introduce universal high basic income as the ultimate agenda? And are you believing that XRP will be the new stablecoin, or the new reserve currency, I should say, by 2030?
No, I don't believe that. But I'll tell you this. When you hear, this is what makes me laugh, man, the way they choose the wording. The Clarity Act. When a government uses something like the Clarity Act, the first question first of all, clarity for who? For who? For the end user? Is this what the Clarity Act is going to be all about? Clarity for the user? No. It's going to be clear for the ones that are connected to the digital rails, who get to make the rules and who will profit from it. That's who it's going to be clear for. Period. Not the end user. No one wants this. No, cash is sovereign. Meaning, you and I meet on the street. I want to buy you a cup of coffee. Okay, Greg, I'll accept it. I spent $5 and, well, how much is a cup of coffee these days? $5 a piece? And our currency debasement engine that's hitting us all right now on a massive scale. It's going to get a lot worse. No one has to know about that transaction here. Okay, now we do the same thing with some kind of Clarity Act, digital stablecoin token, USD1, Trump trying to become his own bank right now. It's all tracked. We lose our freedoms and liberties via the system. Nobody wants this. No one wants programmable rails, because that's really the danger here. It's not just about surveillance. It's about access. Does that make sense to you? Of course it does. It should make sense to everyone here listening, because that's really what this is. Look, I've been pushing for 1,000 years now, explaining that this is all about control. And it's about getting people to surrender their control to the system by not pushing back. How many people push back? How many Trump red hat people pushed back against the Genius Act? You know what they did? They sat back with their thumb in their mouth and sucked it off. Because first of all, they didn't know what the hell it even was. And God forbid they would speak out against, the Babylon high priest. No one wants this. No one wants a privatized system. No one wants a stablecoin token system of any kind. No one wants a digital financial system, which we really have right now by most measures, as you can see. It's this whole thing is not about clarity for we the people, the end user. It's about the regulations, it's about the institutions, about how they're going to work it, who gets access and who doesn't. That's what it's all about. And whenever it comes about, who's going to lose again? It's going to be the American people until we say enough. Okay, it's going to keep getting worse, just as you and me and a lot of other people have said. What happened? Do you realize how unbelievably accurate we've been? Do you think it's because we're any smarter than anybody else? Absolutely not. It's because we pay attention. It's because, you know what we are? Okay, you, me, and the people that are listening in right now, we're people who want change. We really, really do. And we're providing solutions. No one wants to hear about it. Again, fix the system. It's not such a hard thing to do. Return power to the people. Trickle down economics. Doesn't work. You got to build the system from the bottom up. But that's not what we're getting here. What we're getting is the bottom and the middle class is getting siphoned of not just their wealth, their lifestyle, the cost of living skyrocketing, but their spirit as well. Why would I say that? Because they're being forced to surrender. Only the people that are well grounded are able to see it. The rest, the spiritually disenfranchised, the ones that have been captured by the system, again, these same people who claim to be patriots, these same people who claim to, I love America, are watching freedoms and liberty that's stolen right out from underneath us. And then they're saying it's a good thing? Again, as I've been telling people for 1,000 years, that's not how it works. And hopefully, you and I, we can at least awaken one person today. I can only imagine what some of the comments are going to be here. Because again, when you see those type of comments, realize where they're coming from. Someone who has is malaligned. Someone who doesn't respect the truth and will protect whoever they have to, in this case, the high priest of Babylon, to, just because they feel like, because it must be done. He must be right. We must tax American citizens here via, again, levies and tariffs and whatever they are, which can never work. I mean, the lies from the get-go here were just epic. We're going to be so rich. The governments are going to be writing checks. And now we're punishing foreign government. How is this punishing foreign governments? Okay, this new levies or the 50% blanket tariffs, whatever it might be, when it's paid at the border, governments don't write the check. And then how does that trickle through to the end consumer? Well, after it goes through U.S., the whole chain of businesses and industry and everything else, we lose. This is not America first. We could fix it, but no one wants to address it. Again, the currency, the debt, the deficits, the currency debasement. We haven't even begun to see where it's going. And yes, henceforth, why Clarity Act, and henceforth, why USD1, Trump's coin, why he wants to become his own bank here. I mean, you can't make it up. There are going to be some, including him, his sons, his family, they're going to profit greatly from this. And where does that wealth come from? It gets siphoned right out of the same people that believe in him. That's it. I don't believe in him nor the system. We need to turn this around. We are revolutionaries in many, many ways here, because we're sitting here standing toe to toe against the system that, again, the so-called patriots want to defend. You can't make it up.
Yeah.
Where are they?
Well, it's like you've always said, Greg, our faith isn't in kings or queens or politricians. It's in the Lord and in each other. And that's, the end of the goal. And then you have a dollar that has 3,000% hyperinflation with less than a penny value. I mean, it's hard to go any lower, but
exactly, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
So anyway, we understand each other, of course. So one other question I want to ask you, Greg, because I want to respect your time and the audience's time as always. We have a manufactured conflict. Speaking of manufactured conflicts in the Middle East, particularly in Iraq and Iran, Israel is just itching to strike the Bashar nuclear power plants in Iran, where the Ayatollah is located, as they do not want a peace agreement established and the current regime to stay in place. We saw what happened with Mexico, with the drug cartel leader being taken out by the government. That seemed to be a false flag. Do you see this as ultimately, as I mentioned, a false flag event? And if so, how soon do you see this playing out between now and the end of the quarter?
I think, unfortunately, we're going to see any and all tactics weaponized against, again, we, the American people, are going to be sold every manner of counterfeit truth as a mechanism to continue to inflate the system. War, the buildup to war, the world now rearming itself on the back of, I guess, what President Trump started here. By again, I do believe that every nation does need a strong military here, but now doubling the military machine funding for, where's that cash come from anyway? Okay, we don't have it. Got to be borrowed into existence. Who's more than willing to lend? Of course, it's the
Right.
Federal Reserve, Trump's arch enemy, right? All it does is empower the Federal Reserve. So you're going to see more of this. More again. The end game is, of course, when all else fails, they're going to bring us to war. And there already is an internal war on America against America here, only to bring about a system again of maximum control against everyone. And every manner of every deception thinkable and the unthinkable is going to be thrust upon us all unless we the people say enough. No one wants war. No one wants ultimatums here. We need security here. What happened to foreign entanglements and all this other? It doesn't matter anymore because Trump is saying it's the right thing to do. No, again, and none of it's the right thing to do. Secure the border, absolutely. Lock it down. Let's make sure that happens. But as for the rest of it, we need to take care of ourselves first. We have no cash. We have no cash flow in America. We're not taking in anything via tax dollars to support ourselves anymore. The debt must expand. Henceforth, why? We need lower rates so we can expand the debt further, not for any other reason here. The whole thing, and I can't believe there's a single person that when they hear this doesn't question, we need a weaker dollar. It's weak enough, isn't it? The cost of living skyrocketing for everyone here. But all the weaker dollar does, again, is help those the 1 and 2% are closest to the money because they get the dollars before they're devalued, before it trickles down. Hence why trickle down doesn't work. People think there's a level playing field. There is no level playing field. The 1 and 2% is the entrepreneur class, okay? Those that are closest to the money get all the benefit of a weaker currency because they get it first before it trickles down. Level the playing field here in America. Stop the raping of our nation via the 1, the 2%ers. Those are looking to steal our freedom and liberties and call it winning. That's when we take back our nation. Until that time, what we're going to be at, we have a few months left, bro. A few months, and that's it. Scorched earth. We're being thrust into an economic shock scenario. Americans can't afford it. They can't afford to survive right now. This is why debts are ballooning. Personal debt, household debt, consumer debt, and defaults across the board. They can't survive. The phenomenon is even for example, buy now, pay later for food. Okay, that's winning. That's winning. Really, in what distorted satanic reality? I don't know. Certainly not the one I live in. Okay, but that's what being sold to the American people as winning. And I'm not watching the State of the Union. Who would want to listen to the devil speak? Because that's all you're going to hear is lies, deceptions, distractions, propaganda, and a counterfeit system. Do we really believe one person sitting here that you're going to hear even, the devil is an interesting character. He really, really is. And those that he speaks through. They mix truth, they combine it in a way that's seductive to people, and they fall right through the trap door. The devil doesn't always just spew lies. He's a very cunning creature, and I don't have to tell you. You read the book just as I do. Okay, very cunning, ancient. Knows exactly the right words to say, just the correct amount of truth combined with lies to seduce the people. Right. That's all you're going to see tonight is a grand seduction on an epic scale. You will hear the devil talk tonight. So I hope people don't tune in because they're subjecting themselves to further deceit right out of the devil's mouth.
Gotcha. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate that. One last question for you. Call me an optimist, but I thought this was interesting. About a week and a half, nearly 2 weeks ago, we saw Scott Bessent, current Treasury Secretary, pictured earlier this month at a closed-door Senate meeting nothing unusual in the politics of this, but what I found particularly interesting was who was sitting behind him, Greg. Two people directly behind his right shoulder, Judy Shelton. I'm wondering, and she was beaming ear to ear. Why is she so happy? And what I'm hoping is that she's going to be set to supplant him at some point as our new Treasury Secretary, and in the process, returning the gold standard that Nixon and Kissinger wrongly stole from us. In this possibility?
No. If anyone believes, again, that they are going to give up control to we the people, when every single dynamic is all aligning in one direction, that is to extort more control out of the people, well, then they're absolutely deluded. There is no way that we're going to return the power to the people, not here in the United States, nor anywhere else here. The entire system is being pushed as an extortion of control out of the people, robbing of their wealth, their own spirit. Again, this is a spiritual war. She could smile from ear to ear. I've been hearing Judy Shelton's name getting thrown around for years. So have you. What's changed? Nothing. And if you trust Scott Bessent for a nanosecond, I know you don't, well, then there's something else going on there too. Everything is falling in place. It's not happening, bro. We have to become our own central bank. We have to take it back. We have to bet against the system that is designed and angled, and everything is aligning to destroy us from within further and faster. This is why we don't have a lot of time left. We do not have it. So that means we better get our act together, and we better get our act together soon.
No, absolutely. I don't mean in its current system to be precise, but it's like you said, unless we take it back. And my prayer remains that we're not going to get 100%, obviously, but if we can get enough of the people, whatever that means, to take it back, then we can circumvent the process. And that's our aim, is to do just that. So, and I appreciate.
Oh, of course. Until that time, we don't deviate. You and me and people like us have been putting people on the right pathway for a very, very long time. At least from a financial standpoint, this is what we need to do. As the throngs of people out there have no idea what's happening to them or why, they're being kept in a state of confusion and in a state of delusion as well. And I really feel that, people are waking up. I really feel like that. I see it every day. The largest group of people that are now coming over to the Freedom Platform, which you're part of as well. Obviously, you're aligning yourself here. Okay. Are people who were once malaligned with the system itself and those governing it right now. They are by far the largest group of people. So I see that in real time every day. People like Greg, I see it. And now that I see it, I can't unsee it. So yeah, dude, absolutely be thankful. But what we're witnessing here, okay, going back to the book right there, America has fallen under God's judgment. Once that is triggered, God will give people chance after chance. He even gave Pharaoh time after time, after plague after plague. And then all of a sudden, not only was he erased, his entire civilization, everything was erased. Okay, look at the civilizations that have collapsed. The most mighty civilizations on earth now today, ruins. Why? Because they fell under the judgment of God. And that's where America is today. But I believe, I really do, and maybe I'm being too much of an optimist, that we have been given a chance to turn it around. And it has to start today with people saying enough.
Yeah.
That's all.
No, I agree. I mean, they are waking up. We just need it to be faster, and it just kind of
Can't be fast enough, bro. And maybe there's a reason.
agree.
There are the God's chosen people. Remember Trump called himself the chosen one. Chosen by who? Not by the God I worship. Not by the God you worship. Trump admitted he's not going to heaven either. He said, "I really don't think I'm going to heaven." These things. He's not human. They tell you who they are by their fruit. You will see them. You will know them by their own words. You will know them. People deny it. Again, it's too obvious. Once people wake up and they see it, they can't unsee it, bro. That's it.
Just like Hollywood, predictive programming, they have to tell you the truth in plain sight. Whether you decipher or not is another matter, but they do have to put it out.
Free will.
Yeah, free will. Exactly. Perfectly said. So, Greg, as we wrap up, as always, you have a new Substack that I subscribe to, which is great. Can you talk a little bit about that and how people can find out more about your work there, please?
Sure, sure. I have two parts of my Substack. I have a free side, and I do have a side where there are subscribers for $40 a year. If people cannot afford that $40 a year, I will gift them a free subscription. No lion will be left behind. That $40 goes to supporting food drives all over this country, for charity events all over this country. Right now, there are thousands of dollars out there working to feed the needy, for charities that people say, "Hey, Greg, could you? I want to support this one. I feel like it's a worthy cause. Can you look into it?" If I feel like it, boom, I throw cash at these things here. It also supports that $40 a Lions year-end gathering, free. Okay, for anyone. And then again, if people can't afford $40 a year, just over $3 a month, I will gift it to you. Reach out to me via Substack Messenger, and I will give you a free subscription. No lion will ever be left behind.
That's impressive. Thank you, Greg, for that. I appreciate that very much. And I know the audience does as well. We'll leave those links below the video in the description so that people can get on the Substack and learn from the knowledge that you've been doing, not just now, but for many, many years. And folks, one of the main sponsors for our channel that has helped us, Greg's talked about it a million times, gold and silver, 5,000-year-old money, God's real true money. Noble Gold is one of our chief sponsors. So if you're looking to get into the precious metals or add to the cachet of what you have, or if you have a 401k and IRA, which is essentially, sorry to say it, worthless paper that's attritioning every day, and you want to look into rolling over a part or all of that, we'll leave that link in the description below. They are ranked by Gold Magazine, one of the top 2 companies to do business with. And I certainly work with them and have had a lot of peace of mind accordingly. So we'll leave that below in the description of the video for you to peruse at your leisure. Greg Mannarino, good man, brother. Thanks for joining us, and thank you for the honesty and the insight and digging deep into the dirt to get the people the truth as much as possible. We appreciate your time, and we look forward to seeing you again shortly.
You're awesome, bro. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Thanks, buddy. God bless.